Hello, hello, hello. How are we? How are you? How am I? I'm doing great. I'm doing good. I'm a little smacked. I'm a little smashed. I'm a little smashed. This is like my fourth time doing this intro. Why? Because I haven't did it in so long. Why? Self procrastination. We're in the works of it, okay? We're in the progress of such. Trying to stay consistent with myself. Honestly, it's been a little minute. It's been a little good minute. Like I can't truly complain. Um, Outside of not doing videos, I've been doing really good for myself, in my opinion. Mentally growing every day is something that I feel like we're at a constant practice of because anything can go up and down. So I just hope everybody is doing okay and being generous with themselves and making sure that, you're not going too hard on yourself. No one needs to do that, honestly. But I have a couple things on my mind, and I'm going to try and make this a short video just to get something out there to, peek my head in, say hello. I'm back. Trying. We will be. To speak it into manifestations. But, the thing that I want to talk about is why do people view social media or people that are on social media constantly commenting, constantly being updated on just a variety of anything within various groups on social media platforms? Why do people view, you know, some of social media too sensitive or whatever the case may be? And the way that I see it, I think that social media or people in this time, in this generation, are not too sensitive. And this also falls on like Gen Z being too sensitive. No, I just think we're emotionally self aware. Period, point blank. And I'm not going to say that there aren't groups out there or aren't people who are overly sensitive and feel like everything is a target against them. That's just victim mentality. That's victim mentality that I can't say. Possibly a lot of, young generation Gen Z people think. And I'm not even gonna say other people because I feel like everybody has their opinions. But yeah, I do not. But yeah, what I was saying before it cut out, it was basically I do not think necessarily Gen Z or the social media era, I guess, because social media is very strong right now. I feel like social media influence society in general is at its peak of influence for a lot of the Gen Zers. Um, and I do not think, some of the people are sensitive. I'm not going to say all, but I genuinely want for people to stop being like, oh, well, it's just social media and it's just that. It's like what you do on these platforms and what you say and means something because at the end of the day, you're voicing your opinion to, look for common people and or just have somebody to understand you or, influence someone is the better answer, I would say. But my thing is, I just think as far as like our generation, Gen Z, I'm 22, we had technology majority of our lives, especially after middle school. If you were anything like my parents, I didn't get a phone until after middle school. And I feel like, I'm not even going to say that I needed a phone earlier because honestly, I shouldn't know. My time on social media was not fun. Let's be honest. We all know. But I feel like we are the most, I don't know. I feel like a little bit of the generation before, some of the millennials can possibly understand of having technology majority of their lives if they were up to tech in, the late 90s or whatever the case may be. But I do feel like Generation Z is the most generation that's emotionally aware, but also we are seeing a broad prospect of people's emotions elsewhere outside of us. And as younger people and also as empathetic people, I'm not going to say all Gen Zers or all young people are empathetic because that's genuinely not the case. A lot of these motherfuckers do not care about anybody else but themselves. Toot your own horn, but I don't know. I give a fuck about everybody else. Sorry. Um, but the ones that, grew up with emotional awareness and uses it, we feel bad for the motherfuckers around the world, and we feel bad for people in California. We feel bad for people in North Carolina. We feel bad for people in Florida for, all the weather tragedies, Texas, all the killings, all, Trump doing what he's doing, I'm not even gonna go into that because I don't want to speak about that man, that orange. What do we call him nowadays? Is he still orange? I don't think he looks that orange. I think he listened, but he ain't listened that much. Toupee, rotten mango. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, I just feel like Gen Z, the generation is emotionally aware, and we have access to so much that I feel like we have become sensitive because I also don't believe that humans should be seeing this much or feeling this much of everything else around the world. We have never been able to do as such until, everybody and their grandma is on phones now. Like, there's just genuinely no escaping it. Everybody knows about news. Everybody has, news apps nowadays. There's just no way to escape, the dumb rhetoric and bullshit that's online. Twitter is a scary place now. I remember first being on Twitter, and I had my nasty days. I've had my bad days of being in high school with friends and arguing with grown ass men on women's rights and being pro black. I was pro black back in the day. I was pro black back in the day until black men pissed me off. Not as a whole, just some. Some is a lot though. Some is too much for me. Some is too much for me. But I still talk to black men. Um, I still love black men. I still like black men. But that made me be like, at first it was, all I gotta do is be black and die. But now all I gotta do is be a black woman and die. Because they don't give a fuck. So you gotta give a fuck about yourself. No tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. But yeah, at the end of the day, I don't think people should be saying motherfuckers are too emotional. I just think you're clogged out. You're not aware. You don't want to be aware. You don't read enough. Read. I just found out that reading helps cognitive thinking. It helps you have emotional regulation and, concerns, sympathy, empathy with people around you. I'm not saying you should just read any book and you just gonna be, you know, but reading is a building skill to help strengthen your mind. And y'all do not read. And I'm not even talking about men. I'm just talking about people that are in Gen Z, regardless, a man or a woman or other. Y'all don't read. Read a book. Read a book. Read a book. But anyways, y'all need to stop calling people sensitive. It's not that deep. And then I also want to touch up on the Ukrainian woman killed on the train in North Carolina by that man. And I listened to it, and I was listening to it with so much empathy and so much sympathy, and just being like, for somebody to get killed for no fucking reason is fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy, and it's very sad. It's very unfortunate. I feel very bad for her family, and I can't even say rest in peace, rest in paradise, because she shouldn't be there. That's how I feel. Then I seen people making it a black on white crime. Then I got pissed off. Then I got mad. Then I got annoyed. This is very much still about the woman who tragically passed away by the hands of a, schizophrenic man, period. It doesn't have to be put a label on it, even though I did call her Ukrainian. That's because I don't know her name, and I am going to look up her name and put it on the screen as well, because at the end of the day, it's not about this man. It is about her, but also in this era that we are in of, I'm not even going to say Republicans coming up, but conservative people coming up and already like having a target on black people's back more than ever. Especially, I genuinely feel like the black community in the beginning of this year has already stated, put on, said, even black women were like, we're going to shut the fuck up. We're so tired. We're so tired. And like I said in my other video, to an extent, I do understand, but I do feel like black people should be aware at the bare minimum. Be aware, stay in your house, do what you want to do, walk around, lollygag, we ain't do shit. This is very much not our issue. Very much not our problem. So I completely understand that. But then, we got Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney has good genes in outlawing every other race. But with American Eagle, there's only a few. There's only a few, sister. There's only a few. And then I feel like after everything happened, Donald Trump, after a few months, just got mad because the black community was low-key not giving this nigga no reaction at all by any means necessary. And so he started talking shit. And I feel like as of late, it's been very severe that they are now being like, Israel got Ukraine in the bag. Very disgusting, very unfortunate. But now let's focus on these niggas again. That's what it feels like. No tea, no shade. Like, I thought we were in the clear. I'm not saying, anybody else getting targeted up in here. But for a little while, they talked about us per usual. But now it's coming back up. And then after this man doing that, we have news outlets saying, oh, this is a government cover-up, saying they're trying to cover up for a black man. Why are you lying to yourself? You know that would never happen. In a day and age in my life, that will never happen. And if they do, we know what they do. We know who they are. They're Diddy's and Kanye's. It may be a young thug. They're Diddy's and Kanye's and maybe a young thug. We're not, no. You fooled yourself with that. I don't know what buffoonery, but you're not fooling us. So, people saying that this is a black on white crime, no, this was a man that went crazed and had whatever type of fucking day for him to think that he can do that. At the end of the day, this man is schizophrenic. Ain't no think, unfortunately. And I'm not saying that because I'm not even going to put that rhetoric on it, because that's not all schizophrenic people. Period, point blank. He wasn't taking his medicine, whatever the case may be, because that seems like he was at his breaking point. Before she had even, sat down in front of him, he already looked like he was on edge. And the mother has already come out and said that this man should not have been walking on the streets. The justice system did not do their job, helping this black man, get actual help. Or, there's one thing to offer a motherfucker, but at this point, it's a free world. I can't say force anybody to do anything, especially what black people have already went through for history. And if you don't know, look it up. Read. So I can't say force anyone. But his mother tried to help him. She ended up kicking him out the house, as I think was said. Do not quote me on anything that I'm saying, because I've just, started looking into this myself. And he just did the unthinkable to that woman. So I feel like it's very sad. It's very, I can't express how fucking bad that. I don't even know how I would feel if that was my family member. So I can't say anything on that, and I don't want to say too much because it's just a very sensitive topic when it comes to, especially recent death. I'm not the type of motherfucker that's gonna be over here, No, it's not my place. Like, I've never really been at funerals in my whole 22 years of life, so I don't even know how to tell a motherfucker I'm sorry. You shouldn't even say I'm sorry. So what the fuck can I say? I don't know. But, like I said, at the end of the day, people need to stop making it a black on white crime if this man was just crazed. And I'm not saying that quote unquote doesn't happen, black on white crime. And they're bringing up the statistics, and if you bring up the statistics, white people kill more white people, black people kill more black people. That's all I'm gonna say. Then, bam, as I was just finishing up the video, what did I see? Trump is demanding that this man has been diagnosed with schizophrenia. He demands him the death penalty. You see what I'm saying? I literally just said what I just said. I literally just said what I I just said? I said it seems like, they were leaving black people alone. Now, they're on our fucking necks. They're on our necks. And I'm not saying that this man does not deserve prison time and or longer. I think since he has been diagnosed, and don't quote me on this, with schizophrenia, he should be in a psych ward. Like any other white palm hand person would be in a psych ward if they were to do this to not only a Ukrainian woman, but to anybody. We've seen this time and time again where a black, mentally confused person is not giving them, the duality or simple courtesy of actually getting help like a white person will, who has mental issues as well. And I seen, they were also, and this is what I seen in the video, but I technically kind of like rolled over it because I was like, okay, it didn't mean that much, but now it absolutely means more to me. And like I said, this is not taking away the fact that this woman died at the end of the day, that this woman was killed in cold blood. It's just terrible. But a woman on there was like, yeah, I take the train station often. I take the sub train station. I don't have no trains where I'm at. I don't know. I take the trains often, and to be a woman, it was scary that, they can't keep doing this to us. I don't know if y'all seen that clip. Go look at that clip. Go find that clip. And you as a possibly a black person can tell me how that made you feel. No one is just out here killing white people. And maybe they are. Maybe I'm not seeing some shit. But I feel like I'm a little bit chronically online when it comes to Negroes. I don't got no choice but to be. Because if anything happened in the world, ooh. And I used to remember when my family, something used to happen. They used to be like, was it a black person? And they'll take a deep sigh. Like, yes, it's fucked up. But also, we're not going to get blamed for it. And that was a big thing, especially my hometown where I'm from. So this kind of feels like that to me. As a grown adult who I am now, I'm like, damn. Makes it a little bit harder for us right now. And like I said, this is not about the black community at the end of the day. I feel like they're making it a racial thing, and it's not a racial thing. It's a crazy man. Very unfortunate situation. Hurting someone. Period, point blank. Stop making it a race thing. And let me just go ahead and wrap this up, make this clear. Just in case somebody want to get tussling. She possibly also could have been talking about, men doing this to women. But it didn't feel like that. I thought about it, and I was like, you're right. You're right, sister. You're right on that one. They be coming after us as women, too. But it I don't know. Like I said, it possibly could have not been that, but y'all see for yourselves and let us just know. I hope everybody has a nice day, and I will come back more to possibly talk about things that are going on in the world. I'm kind of stepping away because, girl, at the end of the day, y'all know I want to do my spirituality stuff and do my healing stuff, and I've been working on that, but I feel like some of my stuff has been a little bit too personal. I went through a breakthrough recently within my childhood past, and I'm kind of like dealing with that and working with that as well. So that's something that came up. Like I said, that 999 portal was absolutely something. In that 888 portal, sister, I'm going through some things under these moons. I ain't gonna cap. How was your guys' full moon? Are y'all ready for the new moon? Manifestations coming into play. Die down, relax. As the moon goes down and as it gets smaller, so should it get. Relax. Have a nice day.
On private jets, taking trips. Come back at 6, wake me and your child, and then won't lay today.